Welcome and join us on our journey as we interview everyday people and ask them that very question of who am I?
Who am I? Who am I?
Who am I? My name is Donneldo Harris. I'm 28. I'm Rachel from Nassau, Bahamas. So I'm a foreign service officer by occupation. More recently, I'm a party promoter, and then I have a company called Amplify. So we sell health products, sea moss, black seed oil, pantano oils, things of that sort. So my journey started, I'd say, maybe 2017. I just came back off from school, studied finance, and wanted to get into, money management. Long story short, the pandemic came. My mom, she got sick during that time, during COVID. Not from COVID, but, and she got like really, really down. So when she was a little girl in the island, her grandma used to give her sea moss. And, she basically built herself back up and she came to us and she was like, hey, let's do this. Let's sell this product. It took some convincing and here we are, 5 years later. My biggest accomplishment today, that's a hard one. I'd say my biggest accomplishment today is probably, being able to retire mommy. She works with the company now. That's the only thing she does. She hasn't done the job in maybe like 2, 3 years now. So that's definitely my biggest accomplishment, making my parents proud. Yeah. My biggest regret. My biggest regret was during my time as an athlete around track in high school and in college. I feel as though there was a lack in intensity in there. Like I didn't give it 100%. So since that period of my life, since like 2017, I've taken it upon myself. Everything I do, I have to put my all into it. I have to, to avoid living with regrets. The best advice I've ever been given is to ask people who are doing what you want to do how to do it, or get the advice from people who actively doing what it is that you trying to achieve, as opposed to getting the advice from people, who may not be in that field or area or, whatever that may be. So more recently, maybe like 3 weeks ago, I started the gym, right? And that's basically what I had to do because in terms of pressure levels, it was ridiculous. The balancing act was almost impossible. I was antsy all the time. So I think I just started to work out again. Like that's where, it started. And I think that's where I found my peace. And that allowed me to, see the gaps in space. I just had to work out and find a medium to relax. An unpopular opinion. All right, I think that's where it goes. I think that in terms of leadership within the country, I think that the back and forth, between different government regimes, back and forth, I think that stifled our progress over the last maybe 25, 30 years. And I think countries or even institutions that rely on solely one person for a longer period of time, you get more progress. Like, if you use China as an example, you even use Russia as an example, just things that I think long-term governance in all platforms, generally you get progress. I think so. I ain't too fond of the back and forth in different aspects. I think we need to find a leader and stick with it. Hard work. I learned that, particularly in our generation, right? My generation, I think that we have died of, we had a thing of work hard, not work smart, not work hard. I feel like to work smart, you got to work hard first. I really think so. I think you have to put in an extreme amount of effort before you get yourself in a situation where you could just work smart. You can't skip the work. I guess I'd say everyone should just follow their dreams, nothing more rewarding than that. And it's going to be difficult, exhausting, strenuous, like to the point of collapse. And if you ain't doing something like that, then you probably ain't living a life worth living. You could find me, I'm too big a social media presence, but you could find me on Facebook, Donneldo Harris. You could find me on Instagram, Young Lion. It's a V instead of a U, so YOVNGLION. And right now, what I got going on, I just actively working, showing balance and acts. I have a party coming up July 26th at the Bay. we right here with these lemonades, you get them bamboo shack, and just working, and trying to balance it out. That's it right there. It remind me of my Grammy, unlike the older, Bahamians. You don't hear that as much anymore, but it's remind me of child, the confident, warm.
If you like what you saw, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and join us on our journey as we create more content on our way to getting our first play button.